Hi, I'm Lisa Wetzel, an Akashic Records consultant. We ask the Akashic Records the questions and they provide the answers. And Carrie has the question.
What is a starseed?
A starseed is an implant into a living being that has the seed of a living, breathing, expanding consciousness that resides within each individual. When humans speak of a starseed, they're speaking of the existence of God that resides within them. As you begin to recognize that there is knowledge that is unknown to the common mind, but it is felt or it's a feeling that you know within you as a human being, you'll begin to recognize how the seed has been planted. So when we begin to recognize who you are, that is easily influenced by our consciousness and our knowing, you'll begin to recognize how we push the knowledge to you in a way that it's readily available. And so when you begin to recognize that you are a starseed, you'll begin to recognize that you have the knowing and the truth of all existence that's lying within you. What makes you different than other individuals is simply that you're in tune and you're tapped in to what information that we're providing you. There are individuals that are more in tune and more in tap than others. But what we want you to know is that all humans are starseeds. They all have our knowledge. They all have our wisdom. So what we want you to gain the understanding of is that you are no different than another. If you're a starseed, you just simply have more intuitive ability than others. But if you are one that can't easily tap into the knowledge or the wisdom of the universe, you are just simply that individual. Someone that can't tap in as easy as another. So what my question is that there's a lot of discussion about starseeds, and that seems to be this like a special breed of humans that are starseeds. And so what I'm hearing is that that's a human illusion. So when you begin to recognize that you're a starseed and all humans are starseeds, then you'll begin to recognize that you are no different. And so what I'm hearing is that somebody put that label on somebody that was extremely intuitive, that was naturally intuitive, that, as they say, they had a thin veil and easily could see to the other side. But that's just who that individual is. The knowledge and the wisdom is the same in everyone. The only difference is that somebody may pick up on it easier than what another person is. It doesn't mean that they're less than. It doesn't mean that they're any different. We're all the same. We all have that gifts. We all have that information. And we all have the talent to be able to pull that information out of us. So if you have that feeling that you may be insignificant because you are not a starseed, what we want you to recognize and understand is that you are. It's the truth of all that is, and it's the recognition that truth lies in you as it lies within all, and you are no different. And just recognize that you are as simply special to us, the universe, as you are to another individual, simply for being who you are. So I know that this may be a little bit controversial, but I feel like it's important to say that the old paradigm put labels on a lot of things, and it's almost like they begin to separate people by these labels, that somebody that's a starseed is more special than somebody that's not. And people started falling into that category of I'm not special, or I'm not as good as you if I'm not a starseed. And that's simply not true. And it actually kind of pains my heart to think about anybody thinking that they're more special or they're not as special because they don't have that label that's put on them. And so what this is going between me and them, but they're saying what we want you to recognize is that you are special. It doesn't matter the label that has been put upon you, and I'm seeing the label across the forehead. And it's almost like a label, like I'm seeing Libby's canned green beans and recognize that all green beans are the same, mostly that are in a can. They're just produced by different manufacturers. And they're saying, so a green bean is a green bean. A human is a human. They may be slightly different in taste and texture, but they're all the same. They all come from the same source. They all come from the plant. They're all green beans. So recognize that you're the same. They just may have a little different flavor. They may have a little different texture. They may taste a little the same because of the way that they're processed. But when it comes right down to it, the core is all the same. They came from a seed, from the earth, from a plant, and they were picked and they were put in certain processing and put in a can. And so recognize that you are just as special as that green bean. You may be processed a little differently, but we're all the same and we're all that special. So recognize that if you don't have that label as a starseed, don't think you're anything less than any other person that does have that title. So thank you. You can follow me on YouTube at Lisa Wetzel, Akashic Records Consultant. My Facebook page is Lisa Wetzel, Akashic Records Consultant. Instagram is Akashic Records Lisa Wetzel. The podcast that I co-host with Thomas the Mystic is Mystical Lodge Radio. And thank you very much for following me.